Hello, my name is Murray Cowell. I'm a grizzled veteran of the freelance training world, and I've written an ebook called The 7 Mistakes That Most Freelance Trainers Make, costing them thousands, and how to avoid them. And each week I'm explaining one of those mistakes in a little bit more detail. And today we're looking at mistake number 3, which is no accountability. What does this mean? Well, the normal way that training is measured is usually the most weight is placed on the happy sheets, the feedback forms at the end. Did people like it? Did they have a good time? And quite often your clients and the managers of the people on the training will ask them that question. What did you think of the training? And they'll say, yeah, it was brilliant. The training was great. We had a really good time. I learned loads and loads. I can't wait to put it all into practice. And they'll think that that means that the training was a success. Now, because you and I are professional trainers, we know that that's not necessarily true. And so we might design into the measurement of the program some metrics. So, for example, if it's sales training, you might expect to see sales go up or leads go up or better quality conversations, higher conversion rates, whatever it happens to be. If it's customer service training, you might expect an increase in the net promoter score, or a decrease in customer complaints or something like that, or better feedback from customers, those kind of things. If it's leadership and management training, you might expect lower staff turnover, for example, or higher employee engagement scores or something like that. But even this isn't enough. And the reason for that is because if nobody is made accountable for making sure that that change continues, then it probably won't. And the best that you can hope for is a spike in performance when people leave your training session fully motivated, which will very quickly wear off as they go back to their old habits. And that will happen very quickly if they get back to their desk at the end of the training after spending a day or half a day or a couple of hours or whatever it is with you. And what they'll find is that everything's exactly the same. They've still got the same problems. The inbox is a bit fuller because they've just been away from the desk to be on the training. And their manager very often has no idea what they're supposed to be doing differently or how to support them, how to nurture the new behaviours. And so those behaviours will wear off very, very quickly. This is why a lot of training fails. And if you're not getting a lot of repeat business, then this is probably one of the reasons why. Because when the expected change of behaviour wears off, they're going to blame you for that happening, and then they'll start casting about looking for somebody else to bring in and fix the problem and doing exactly the same set of problems all over again. So what is the solution to this? And the solution to this is to make the managers and leaders properly accountable for bringing out the behavioral change that the training is intended to accomplish. So how do you do that? Well, this is all to do with how you design your training and how you set your clients up for success. Because in the design of the program, you can design a role for the managers that makes them accountable for making sure that the change happens. This is a good way of binding managers in, and that's the ideal way of doing it. But at the very, very least, managers should have a very clear briefing that lets them know this is what people are going to learn, this is the change in behaviour that you can expect to be, and this is your role in making sure that that happens, so that they really understand that obtaining a long-term behavioural change is a joint enterprise between you and the managers and leaders of the organisation. You can't do it on your own because you don't spend enough time with them. You're only there while they're in the training room. It's up to the managers and leaders to create the environment that then supports the behavioural changes that you're training people to do, the new habits, the new behaviours, the new ideas, the new ways of thinking, or whatever it happens to be. And the second way is to set the client up for success in a way that makes sure that everybody involved in the training recognises that it's a joint venture. Now, these things are not easy to do, and that's why I include them in my client attraction program. So if you are interested in learning a bit more about how to make your clients and the managers in the organisation responsible and accountable for the behavioural change that you're trying to bring about, then have a look at the links in the comments below.